Morning everybody, and welcome to day 7 with the beta qualifier. I apologize for the gaps with days 5 and 6. That trip up to Rancho Cucamonga and through LA really threw a wrench in the plans as far as getting the videos out every day. That being said, after today, I'm going to start spacing this out a little bit. My workload on top of daily videos until we finally get this thing is a bit much. Hopefully, today is the day. Maybe tomorrow morning I wake up and I see that wonderful little download option. But it sounds like, from what we're hearing with these tweets from Elon, that it could be another week. 10.2 of the beta will drop and about 1,000 new people will be added. From there, apparently it'll grow, adding more and more drivers that are safe. There's been some videos from great YouTubers that aren't too happy about the way this is being handled, or the way it's going for them, what they may feel or believe or think the motive is behind it. And I do think, their followings are large enough that I need to add my voice to the mix. I know right now I'm just a random guy, but if you stick around, I think you'll learn to trust me pretty quickly. I've got a wealth of knowledge involving Tesla, how the vehicles work, their autonomous features. I'm a total engineering, science, physics, space geek all around. And I want to carry that into my videos and into being a bit of a science communicator in that way to my subscribers. But keep in mind, I'm not the kind of person that's very good at sugarcoating or beating around the bush. I'm very blunt, I'm very direct, but you can trust that what comes from me is with an honest intent. That aside, I'm looking forward to having a strong day 7. So far, I had a 100% score or 100-point score. I'm still battling with how I view that scale. I'm trying to lean more away from percent. Now we're gonna go get the car cleaned up. It's been working very hard. You'll need some love. The only reason I'm recording right now is just to put my thoughts somewhere regarding the recent video from the channel Now You Know with Zach and Jesse. Fantastic channel. I love those guys. And I would say 99% of the time, I am fully on point with whatever they're expressing or going over. But not the safety score. This is where I differ in their fundamental belief of what Tesla is trying to do. Yes, it's obviously making sure that the person behind the wheel isn't an idiot, and that's not a slant to anybody who can't get above a 95, and I'm being very modest with 95, but over a 95 safety score, because frankly, it is difficult to get below 99. There seems to be a lot of people thinking that Tesla is worried about media misrepresenting them, or FUD being spread, or regulatory agencies breathing down their neck. But I would expect anybody who's been following Tesla for a while to be used to that. That's been happening for the last decade. This is no different. I think, based on the 1,400 miles as of this moment that I've driven with the safety score, and kept a high 99, almost 100, that Tesla is training us. Tesla is training those who are gonna get the beta how to think like full self-driving. What I mean by that is, by maintaining a safe following distance, watching your braking G-forces as well as your lateral G-forces, and staying attentive, you're poised to react to any scenario, which is exactly what needs to happen for people who have the beta. You gotta be ready, because the beta, as good as it is not perfect. It is going to freak out, it is going to say help, it is gonna not react 100% the right way 100% of the time. And you have got to be ready. You need to be thinking ahead of that. You have to play a chess game with how you're driving and think ahead of the other people, of these not as intelligent, squishy meat sacks behind the seat of the cars. This is figuring out who amongst Tesla owners with full self-driving have the mental acuity and foresight to react and play this 3D game of chess in real time to best suit the Beta's needs as well as Tesla's needs. And the byproduct of that will be mitigation in the media and avoiding further regulatory pressure because of people who are not equipped to handle this properly, getting this technology, and then making a big mistake. The frustration that you can see with Zach and Jesse is completely understandable, and same with Brooks from Drag Times. I get it. Nobody likes to be judged or viewed in a negative way or feel pressure to do things a certain way that doesn't make sense to them. And this is where I'll refer to video on day 4, you can opt out. It's that simple. This is tailored to a certain group of people that are going to be built to do this right. Now, granted, I'm not 100%, but I'm at 99.5 or 6 or 7. I'm close. And again, this is also not being selective with where I'm driving. I'm not choosing to go and drive in the middle of nowhere where there's no cars. I am currently heading north in San Diego at 10:40 in the morning. You can see it in the forward camera footage of my drives. I am downtown, I am in La Jolla, I am in Chula Vista, I am up in Encinitas, Del Mar, Rancho Penasquito, up Rancho Cucamonga in LA. I am going everywhere customers go, which makes this the most accurate test bed for real world crazy scenarios, because I am not being selective. I am being probably as random as you can get and still maintaining this score. I'm not cheating or gaming the system. I am driving in a way that I will be able to react and help the Beta complete its mission without further setback. And that's the biggest takeaway that I want everyone to understand. It's not about looking good for the media. Tesla doesn't care about the media. If they did, they'd have a PR team. What they care about is forward progression of their technology. One of the things I'm hearing brought up is that this isn't the right criteria to be judging the safety of a driver on. Braking hard, aggressive turning, following distance. Usually those people follow up with things like monitoring your speed, and whether or not you're texting and driving, as well as running red lights and stop signs and such. And where I agree with all of that, you don't need to measure those metrics so much if you're measuring what they are measuring. The whole point and the most critical factor is a sudden change in velocity, acceleration. Whether it's acceleration or deceleration, it's acceleration both ways, just one's in the other direction. And what you're measuring with the lateral G-forces, aggressive turning, and braking, that's all measures of sudden changes in acceleration. Somebody who is excessively speeding is, as a consequence, on a normal road at least, going to be suffering from lateral G-force and hard braking to compensate for that level of speed in a given direction when there are other cars and obstacles around. It's that simple. By measuring the braking and the lateral acceleration, you've got the data you need on drivers that are actually being aware enough to avoid those scenarios. Following distance is a great way to set people back kind of away from the crowd a bit and pay attention and avoid those aggressive, sudden changes in velocity. This does not mean going at or below the speed limit. I'm cruising right now at 120K or 75 miles an hour in full self-driving, and everything is totally fine. I've got probably 20 seconds to the car in front of me just because of the lane I'm in currently, but there's about 7 cars just to my right in the other 3 lanes. If I am going 100 miles an hour, at some point, I'm gonna have to get on the brakes. And most people that are driving around like that are inherently more dangerous and prone to sudden changes in velocity anyway. So they're gonna get dinged for the heavy braking and the lateral acceleration. There is plenty of science to back up the physics of driving in a way that isn't safe. And Tesla was very smart to do it this way. Most people aren't gonna like this because it is highlighting exactly how impatient and unaware you actually are. Most people think that they are far better drivers than they actually are. I'm one of them. This system, this safety score scenario has showed me that I am way too impatient, go into corners way too fast, do not have enough distance between me and the person in front of me. And after 1,400 miles in 7 days, I'm much better. I would not in any case say that Tesla is lying or trying to be misleading or any of the above when it comes to this. Honestly, I think it kind of forces people to step back and maybe reevaluate why they're getting so mad. Typically in life, if something makes you uncomfortable, it warrants reevaluating why. Is it the thing that's the problem, or is it you? And I'll leave it at that.